Is rallying people an important thing that you need to do? Absolutely. You need to know how to rally humans around you wherever you are. And that is an important dharma of a responsible leader. Now, if you're a part of an institution, in your career, in your job, this is a very important skill. And it's not just for managers, but in today's times, you have cross-functional teams. You work with people with whom you have absolutely zero authority, and you still need to get them to do things when they are reporting to you in an informal structure, while formally they report to someone else. You work with vendor partners, you work with, let's say, consultants on the outside. So tons of places that you really need to rally people and work with them. So think about this. Think about, number one, do you understand their pulse? Number two, do you understand what is the worth and value that you are bringing to them? Do you know what is it to be a viable leader for them? Do you know what is it to truthfully listen to them, or deeply contract, or earnestly really achieve things with them? This is what you need to focus on if you're going to learn how to rally people around you. Let's get a little into depth of all of these things. Now, to begin with any group of people, wherever you are, in your organization, in your families, wherever, a responsible leader will truly understand what people stand for, their values, their apprehension, their personal stories, their filters, their barriers, what they think, what they don't think, where do they get stuck, where do they find it easy. When you interact with them, what's the impact that they have? When others interact with them, what's the impact that they have? Which group they like, which group they don't like. So much of that. It's not just through your interactions, but you also need to be perceptive about understanding and reading in between the line and getting that sense of where people are from their non-verbals, the messages that they send, the way their energy is, the way they are looking, the way they are dressing. So get this, learn this. Some of these lessons will come from psychology, popular books. Like people like Desmond Morris have written so much about body language and understanding things, or there's so many other places where you can learn about spotting the lie, or what are people saying, or cultural orientations. People like Hofstede have done so much of research about multi-country perspectives on culture and things like power distance and speed, etc. So learn, read, understand. You will need to get some trade skills from areas like psychology, cross-cultural understanding, etc. Linguistics, for that matter of fact, to really understand where people are. It is a beautiful capability to develop. So understand the pulse of people, and you need to come across with genuine care. When people start seeing genuine care, they'll begin opening up to you. That's your step number one. And remember, these are steps that you need to climb. This is the first step that you need to climb. Fine, you climb that first step. What do you need to do? Now that you understand them, here's where you need to establish your worth and value, for which you need to have trade skills. You need to be a future-proof leader. You need to be a currently relevant leader. You need to be a capable leader. You need to know your subject. You need to know how to land things correctly. You need to know how to work with processes, work and get results. You need to show direction. Well, if you're at home and you're a responsible parent as a leader, you need to know how to help your child succeed. If you're a student and if you're a responsible leader as a student, you need to understand that within the education system, whatever projects you're doing, etc., how do you succeed in that? So that understanding of your own trade and being worthy, being valuable to the environment is something that you really need to master as the second step. Fine. Once you do that, where do you go? And that's where you need to be visible. You need to communicate well. You need to project yourself well. You need to be able to tell your story correctly. You need to be able to inspire some people, give them that energy. While everyone will only do things when they are intrinsically motivated, can a genuine leader who understands people, who is worthy of leadership in their own right, can they create energy in others? Yes, the answer is yes. If you tell your story correctly, if you are genuine, if you're there, if you're attentive, you will be able to inspire that energy. And that energy highly likely is a very good environment for the intrinsic motivation of people to come out. Or if they have the right reason to do certain things, then again, their intrinsic energy will come. So give them a purpose and the energy will come. And ultimately, what we started this conversation with is to say rallying people for a cause. So understand them, show your own worth and value, and then inspire them to adopt that cause. Now, the story doesn't just end here. These are your foundations. Once you've climbed these 3 steps, what do you need to do? At our workplaces, in our institutions, in our families, in society, we need to get people to agree on things and move forward. This is where your truthfulness will come in handy. Now, why truthfulness? Because all situations are not perfect. We always don't have the resources. We always don't have the time. We always are not working with the perfect clients or situations, or not always are we completely prepared. Do we always have all the data? No. So there are so many imperfect situations around us. So instead of painting a picture, which is in some senses a picture that people would want to buy, paint the real picture and talk about the truth respectfully, in a connected way, in a purposeful way. That purposeful conversation will take you forward to the next step of being able to contract with people, what's expected of them, how do they need to think, act, feel, behave, do things in a certain scenario, and which will then in turn translate into the last and the most important thing, which is getting things done along with people. So remember what this entire sequence is. Your first step to climb is understanding people at a very, very deep level. Second is to establish your worth and value and showing that you care and they can rely on you. The third is you become a visible leader. Your voice, your storytelling creates that energy, which gives the intrinsic motivation of people a chance to come up, or the logic within people, the opportunity to come up. And then from there, you talk truthfully, you establish the facts of the situation, usher them into a great contract of what everyone needs to deliver, and finally work with people to get things done. That is a responsible leader. Like I keep saying, a responsible leader can be at workplace, in an institution, as a consultant, as a parent, as a student. You can be a responsible leader. Wherever you are, work with these principles and you will see you will rally others around you for a cause, and this will create great success, not just for you, but for others. Remember, a responsible leader is someone who understands that he or she needs followers to work with. He or she needs to give space to other leaders to succeed. So basically, a responsible leader is being a systemic leader, enabling the system to win, not just his or her own victory. That is the selflessness with which, or the value oriented position with which we need to approach a system, approach a task, approach a situation. When people see that genuineness, they will rally around you.